Hello fellow model railroaders, and welcome to a layout tour edition of the MPRR. So here is the majority of my locomotives. I've done roster updates here and there, so you can look back through there if you want to know what all them are. So basically, right here with the horrible attempted weathering job on the roof of the switcher shed is the area that my stereo is sitting in at the moment. And this is basically where, coming off of here, all the cars that are going to the car shop, which is that building, and all the engines that need to go to the engine shop for servicing and everything, this is the area that it's going to happen. And probably the engine shop's probably going to sit somewhere along here, and I'm hoping I have enough room to squeak a track by on this side or on this side somehow. Because back in through this disaster here, I'm going to have probably 3, maybe 2 tracks of intermodal for container loading. And so that's what this area is going to be. So I've been working on this yard, and I only get about a week, not even 4 days, maybe 5 sometimes, to actually work on my layout. And with all the other stuff I have going on, my job takes me away for a month or 2 or 3 at a time. So anyways, not complaining about my choice in work. So you can see this is where the yard is. I haven't ballasted up here because I want to put some switch machines and some ground throws and all that kind of stuff in, make sure it all works. And I thought I would have enough tracks to put a majority of the cars that I use on a regular basis in, but it looks like I'm only going to be able to fit about half of them. So anyways, I'll still be playing the box shell game with cars when I want different cars. So anyways, as you can see, I've got my I got 1 grain train and some potash hoppers. It's about half of what I got for those. And that's about half of one of my unit trains there. The other half is sitting in boxes, and the other half is, well, not going to be here till June, I think. Waiting on PWRS to make their green Saskatchewan cars and their blue Alberta cars. So anyways, here, shingle factory. I think that is what I decided to make it. So you'll have tank cars bringing in, you know, liquid asphalt and granulars, pressure flow hoppers. And then you have box cars coming in and loading and unloading stuff. And then on this side here, you have the truck docks. This is the parking lot. You see I did some scenery work. I gotta kind of touch it up and finish it up. So this is going to be my steel manufacturing factory. And they're mainly going to build electrical generating stuff, generators, transformers, and I'm hoping windmills, so wind generating or power generating windmills. So I got a line on some cars and some blades and stuff like that that are kind of a custom deal. I'm hoping I pick them up, and that's where they'll manufacture that. So I've got 1 track that goes in to this building here, and that's where I've been putting my a box car or 2 here and there, some gondolas, and then mainly it's the cushion coil cars with the hoods. So back here, this is Marvelous Mound, and this is where they do the potash mining, and this is where the potash cars get loaded. And it'll serve double duty in an imaginary way that all of a sudden I'll decide I want to run a coal train. It's going to be a coal loader too, because I can do what I want here. So anyways, the track comes around this way here. It's about a 20 and a half inch radius, I think, and then comes around here. And this is my feed industry. I'm in an agricultural area, and basically the cars are going to dump milled feed for hog barns and dairy barns and all that, which is fitting because this is all in an old dairy barn. My family used to be into dairy and no longer, so I took over the front room, which is where the milk tank and everything was. So pretty much from this line here back is going to be industrial, and this back corner here is going to be a a small to medium-sized aggregate processing facility, small screener, some piles, and then a rail car loading facility, which I'm in the process of building right now. And then along here, there's going to be somewhere in here, I'm planning on having a lumber yard, because this is the grain elevator, of course, and this basically through up to this loop, this area here is going to be the town, and I'm going to have some sporadic industries in there, and it's going to all be a push job. So I'm going to have to make some kind of run around in the industrial zone so that I can push some car to. It's not going to be very extravagant, but it'll still be something worth switching. And of course, I've got my grain elevator. In my hometown, the grain elevator was like right on the edge of town, but it was in town, so I'm kind of modeling that. You know, Main Street's going to run along, and there's going to be houses all along this end here, and then businesses, and then some more houses, and then industrial again. So basically that is the layout as it stands. Back in this corner where this storage desk is where the helix is going to go. I've drawn up plans. It's actually not going to be a round helix. It's going to be more of an oval helix, so it gets a little bit more track time. And it's going to go to my second level. And the second level is going to be a double loop again. But on the sides, it's going to be storage for the unit grain trains and coal trains, potash trains, or whatever. And on this end, with the window here, is going to be the port side. I'm actually on the second level going to have ships along here and some loaders and stuff to load the ships. So that's basically it. I think I covered everything, and yeah, I think so. So I'll move on to a couple little projects that I had worked on. This is just me kind of piddling around. So sometimes you see rail cars being hauled to various manufacturing places or repair places anyways. What I did is I took my low boy here with the Jeep and the tri-drive Kenworth, and I fashioned some rail onto it so that you can back up to, I'm going to have a hump over in the repair yard, and it's going to mate up to these rails so that an engine can push a car onto this truck, so it can be hauled away if there's a repair that they can't handle. And another thing that I made was this ugly but very effective track cleaning car. I basically just took some pads from my Woodland Scenics track cleaner and glued them to the bottom of a car that was just kind of junk and put some weight on it, and it works real good. It's kind of my rescue car if it's really dirty, because it is dusty in here. I put it on, it's got lots of weight, and it takes, you know, 2 or 3 locomotives to push it. So there. Another thing, this is my track cleaning kind of train that I have. Every one of these cars has one of those little Woodland Scenics pads that hook onto the trucks. And on this one, I have some wood dowels because I think dragging wood around helps. And then this is what I made. This is the Jitterbug, and basically it just moves along. It's the lead, and it's got lots of weight. It's got a piece of cork, and then a kind of a foam pad that carries some cleaning liquid. And basically, it's only got one truck, and so the weight rides on the cork and the foam pad. And the truck is rigid mounted, so when the rail turns the truck, the pads in the front have to turn as well. And it actually works really, really well. It was just kind of one of these dinky things I threw together when I was just kind of waiting for other stuff to dry, and it actually works really well. So I call it the Jitterbug because it kind of flops around a little bit, and I got some more weight on it now, so it's not as bad, but so that's what I call it. So as you can see, this is my disaster of a layout. I hope you liked the tour. And subscribe, like, tell me I'm an idiot. I don't really care. And if you have any suggestions of how I can make things better, well, I probably won't listen. That's just the way I am, but you know, you can try. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day.